Hello, this is Kristen Wilson. This is my video presentation number 2. My participant that I observed this time is a 5-year-old little girl named Lily. She is Caucasian. Her birth date is actually September 30th, 2016. So she's in kindergarten, but she was really young. She was 4 when she started kindergarten. This is actually my next door teacher's daughter. She's my next door neighbor in our pod at school. She lives with her mom. 4 older siblings, so 3 brothers and 1 sister. Her parents are separated in the process of getting a divorce, and they actually all live with like maternal grandmother. So daycare, no. She has always had grandma there, and then during the COVID, of course, mom was home. Physical development, height and weight, mom did not actually remember her last appointment, what it was, but she did recall that she's on the smaller side. She was in the 20th percentile on both her height and weight. Thinking about motor development, she has got her gross motor development is fantastic. She can run and jump and bounce the ball, throw the ball. I watched during recess, she was able to skip rope, not for very long, but she was able to get that movement down. Her fine motor skills, she's able to use scissors, use crayons, pencils. She can open bottles. She can get like little straw in the juice boxes and stuff. So she's got both fine, gross, and fine motor skills. Her sleep pattern has always been very good. She sleeps very well through the night all the time. She's had no illnesses and is current on all of her immunizations. Nutrition, she's actually would be average weight for her height and weight, so she's proportionate. She doesn't eat a lot. I guess mom says the thing is with her, she just only eats when she's hungry. So she's developed kind of that system in her body. She knows when she's hungry, she eats till she's full, and then she's done. She doesn't snack a lot either, and she's definitely not picky. But she really only eats when she's hungry. She does like sweets. She comes and sees me for Skittles all the time. Cognitive development, Piaget's level would be pre-operational. I did the water activity with 2 glasses, the same amount in 2 similar glasses. She could see that those were the same. When I poured 1 glass into a tall glass, then she thought that they were different amounts. So she does not have the ability to understand conversion yet. For memory, she does very well with memory. We played a memory matching game. We did play it like 2 times in a row, and she was actually much better the second time we played, just like where you flip the cards and try to make the pair. So she's actually got pretty good memory. And she does talk about things like that happened like last week in school or with a friend. Language, she does not speak more than 1 language. She did not go to preschool. Again, she was home with either grandma or with mom. She has no learning disabilities. For language development, there was no infant directed speech. But I think that she had, in my opinion, she had a really, really good grasp of grammar, and her sentences are really mostly complete. She had really good vocabulary, I thought. She also has very good pragmatics and says please and thank you very consistently. She needs occasional reminders like, well, what do you say when you ask for something? But very good use of language. Emotional and social development. For socialization, she is very good at sharing things. I do notice that she also shows empathy already. If a classmate seems sad, are you okay? She helps them maybe pick up something. So again, very, very empathetic, very good at sharing and caring. For her self-understanding, gender identity, when I asked, well, are you a boy or a girl? I got the, I'm a girl, silly. So she definitely knows she's a girl. Her gender socialization, she does prefer to play with other girls, but in a classroom setting, she has no problem like working with boys at her table or like in a small group setting, no problem with that. Her gender schema, she definitely seems to prefer things that are more girlish, like pink. She loves unicorns and butterflies. But what I noticed though about that too is that she does not seem like insistent on only playing or working with things that are girl-like. And I wondered if maybe that has to do with having 3 older brothers. She's very well-rounded is kind of what I took away from it as far as like, girl and boy things. For parenting style, she does get like a couple of warnings and then she'll get a timeout. And that does seem to work for the most part with her. It really does. She does have some chores that she does at home, like she helps clean up, like after dinners and things like that. She does clean up her room, she does make her bed. What I also kind of noticed is that mom really seems to rely on older siblings, even after school and stuff like that. So she does rely on older siblings quite a bit to help, kind of like with parenting, with watching her, with just having her do what she needs to do. Um, the other thing I noticed with siblings, is that there's quite an age difference. So Lily is again just 5, and then the next sibling is in 7th grade in middle school. So you've got at least a 7-year difference in age. So Lily really is like the baby of the family, and I think might get a little bit of different treatment, as a result of that. Um, Her basis of friendship is I'm going to say age and gender. Her best little friend there at school is another teacher's kid that is also in kindergarten named Mia, and they run around quite a bit, and they're just thick as thieves. So that's her best little friend. Uh, Actually, every morning they play together. So for media use, so we use Chromebooks, and computers every day at school. She does use a tablet for entertainment at home. They do have the TV on in the background quite a bit at home, as mom says. I don't know if I would say that that's like right amount, not right amount, or what I would say. But so she does have, media usage every single day. Couple things that stood out to me was that her conversation is phenomenal, and I noticed that there's a difference in conversation between when she's talking with her friend and then when like she's talking to mom or brother. So her conversation with her friend is much more engaged, much richer. It's a little bit more succinct when she's talking to mom or talking to her brothers particularly. The other thing I wanted to talk about was her emotional regulation. I've been able to observe her since the beginning of school till now, it's almost May, and she has greatly increased her ability to regulate her emotions. She used to have a lot of meltdowns, had a lot of frustration at the beginning of the year, and as we've progressed, she actually is much, much better able to deal with frustration or problems or things that come. Instead of like crying and screaming and having a meltdown, she's much better able to deal with it. Brothers do still kind of mess with her a little bit, and that'll set her off. But otherwise, I'm just like really proud of how much she's grown in that way since the beginning of the school year. So thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed.